I have 21 DVDs and 7 Blu-rays, including 1 CD for this update. These first 8 are DVDs that I have acquired within the last couple of days. Blockbuster date is June 21st, 2008. New Line Cinema movie. This one, 16 ans et plus pour violence and 18A. This is the 60th anniversary commemorative edition of Pearl Harbor, which comes in this case, which is pretty cool. This movie is 183 minutes, so this movie is over 3 hours long. This one I'm not going to go into. I'm not going to bother showing what's inside of that one. Overture Films movie, Call Me With the Film Department. It was released on DVD by Alliance here in Canada. I do know that this movie recently got a Kino Lorber Studio Classics release. But I'm fine with this DVD. Call Me With Lakeshore Entertainment. Also made with Alphaville. Weirdly enough, the back does not have the Lakeshore Entertainment logo whatsoever. Lionsgate movie, Call Me a Deep One Adventure Pictures, and was released on DVD by Entertainment One here in Canada. Strangely enough, this has a code for The Expendables 2 inside, which is really weird. These next 3 I got at the flea market. This was only $5, so this was a really good deal. And I did borrow this DVD at one point, but now I have this movie in my collection officially. And I saw this movie in theaters back in June of 2022, and this was an awesome movie. Paramount movie, Call Me a Skydance, and Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer films. This one I got for free on the house, essentially. Even though it has Warner Brothers in the credits and has the Warner Brothers logo on the back, this movie was originally released by the Ladd Company. In Nova Scotia, this was R in Canada, but this was rated G in Quebec. I think this movie is currently out of print on DVD. These next 2 are Dimension Extreme titles, with this one in particular being the only one that I have in my private collection. This movie is quite hard to find nowadays, and copies of this are very pricey on eBay. I once found a copy of this at ID Shop, and it was over $250 fucking dollars, which I did make a Reddit post about that. French movie from La Fabrique du Film, released in the US by the Weinstein Company under Dimension Extreme, and was released on DVD by Alliance here in Canada. This one, 16 ans et plus pour violence and R in Canada. And now onto the DVDs that I borrowed from the library. And this is the other Dimension Extreme DVD that I got for this update. British movie from Roller Coaster Films, also made by Parfait. Released in the US by Dimension Films under Dimension Extreme, and was released on DVD by Alliance here in Canada. Now, even though it just says France on there, this is a French, British, and West German movie, originally released by 20th Century Fox, released on DVD by Crystal Films here in Canada, or in Quebec only. Despite being rated R in the US, in British Columbia, this is rated PG in Canada. As for Inside, this is now my second Dimension Extreme DVD, the other one being Dirty Sanchez the movie. I think this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I could be wrong. Regardless, though, I hear this movie is supposed to be abysmal and fucking terrible. I think this movie was originally released by Saban Films. Could be wrong once again. Released on DVD by Mongrel here in Canada. South Korean movie from CJ Entertainment. It was released in the US by Magnolia Pictures. Released on DVD by Mongrel here in Canada. These next couple 7 DVDs are brand new releases from either last year or earlier this year. I did open to this on Super.com. New Line Cinema movie, Call Me with Blinding Edge Pictures, and was released by Warner Brothers. And this movie is directed by Oshana Night Shyamalan, who is one of M. Night Shyamalan's 2 daughters. And M. Night Shyamalan produced this movie, of course. This is the first season of Dune Prophecy, which originally aired in 2024. Call Me a Legendary. Actually, I should show the inside artwork for this one. I think I did the opening to this show on Super.com. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think I did. This is a sequel to Den of Thieves. Lionsgate movie released on DVD by VVS Films here in Canada. Sequel to Gladiator, which I do have on DVD, except the discs are missing, so I'm planning on getting a replacement copy or just upgrading that to Blu-ray. Paramount movie, Call Me a Scot-Free. The first movie was originally distributed by DreamWorks Pictures. And this movie was to be co-distributed with Universal Pictures, but Universal backed out at the last second. I did the opening to this on Super.com. And I heard this movie was a box office bomb. This has Robert De Niro in a dual role, the first of his career. Call Me a Sunday Night Productions and Maximum Effort. I do know that this movie features a variant of the Paramount Pictures logo at the beginning. I have this movie on Blu-ray, but I decided to borrow it on DVD. And this DVD is practically the same as the Blu-ray in terms of cover design and content. Even has the same menu. Not only US, but the UK and France. Movie, Call Me a Working Title, and Blacksmith. This one's 13 ans et plus pour horreur, érotisme, and 18A. Even features the same inside artwork. And this DVD is incredibly hard to come by. Quebec movie, rated 16 ans et plus pour érotisme. 1966 Swedish movie released in the US by United Artists. And now on to the 7 Blu-rays. Call Me a Blinding Edge Pictures and Film Nation Features. According to Brandon's Movie Corner, this movie recently went out of print on both Blu-ray and DVD, and it's not on streaming services, which I find kind of bizarre considering that this movie is only 10 years old. Though, Arrow Video announced a Blu-ray release of this movie for, I think, 2026. Universal movie Call Me a Legendary. So yeah, very surprising. Did you open to this on Super.com as well? This movie was released in the US by Viva Pictures. It was released in Canada released on Blu-ray by Elevation Pictures here in Canada. This one's rated G, the Gansi en Gens Enfants, which is really weird for an animated film. But considering that this is a horror comedy film, kind of makes sense. This one's a Canadian and German movie, I believe. And now for the last Blu-ray that I borrowed from the library. This is the film adaptation of The Handmaid's Tale, which I do remember borrowing one of the seasons of the television series on DVD at some point. Cinecom Entertainment Group movie, now owned by MGM, was released on Blu-ray by Shout Factory. This one's 13 et plus with no rating reason and R in Canada. This is from the Shout Select line, of which this is number 15. And now onto the Blu-rays that I got from the flea market. Fox 2000 Pictures movie Call Me a Regency and Linson Films, also a Taurus film. Originally rated 18 et plus in Quebec, but in 2016 this was re-rated, or no, 2013 I think. This was re-rated 16 et plus pour violence. This is 18A, but in Alberta this was R in Canada. This one's an upgrade from the 20th Century Fox DVD that I'm now going to get rid of at this point. This will now replace my original DVD. This is the Arrow Video Blu-ray of Donnie Darko. The inside artwork is of the film's original theatrical poster, which was also the front cover of the original Fox release. And now for the last Blu-ray. Finally have this movie. And I saw this movie in theaters back in April of this year. This was a good movie. Warner Bros. Movie Call Me a Legendary Pictures and Mojang Studios. And I did the opening to this on Super.com. I think this was rated 14 plus on Crave. I could be wrong. And now for the one music CD that I got. This is the debut album from Maroon 5. And This Love, Sunday Morning, and She Will Be Loved are some of my favorite songs of all time. Before this album, the band was referred to as Cara's Flowers. track listing. Hold on. This might be the only Maroon 5 album I get because their newer music's fucking terrible.